Welcome to Bigfoot Society. If you have Bigfoot activity to report from the same areas discussed in this episode, please reach out to me directly after this episode. And if you'd like to be on the podcast to discuss a personal Bigfoot encounter, please reach out to me directly at bigfootsociety@gmail.com. Do you wish there was more Bigfoot Society to listen to every week? Well, there is now. If you become a supporting member over at Patreon, you get a special members-only episode every single week on Wednesdays, and sometimes even more episodes. Head on over to patreon.com/the Bigfoot Society. And now let's get on with the show. All right, Bigfoot Society, we've got the privilege of talking tonight to Butch. Butch is a listener from Central Illinois. He reached out to me through email and wants to share about a very interesting experience he had a few years back. Butch, it's a privilege to have you on the show tonight. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, doing great. We had to move this one around a little bit to get it to work, but I'm glad we're finally chatting. I want to mention, we had talked before this started up, the recording, that this is really the first time that you are sharing this publicly, which is a huge deal. And I appreciate you trusting me with your story. And Butch, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to you, and feel free to bring us back to the time where that happened and let us know what you experienced.
All righty. It was in the month of November, and it was around 20 degrees. And it was a little thing there before I get into how it happened. Here late, about a week or two before, the neighbor was wondering where his chickens were disappearing. And we thought maybe coyotes and whatever had gotten a hold of them. And then that's a pretty normal thing around here. But I don't think that's what happened. Anyway, we getting ready to go to bed. This thing is on a Friday night. And we went in and went on to bed around 8:30. And we got up right around 11:30, 11:45. And we both got up at the same time for odd knows reason. I don't know. It happens once in a great while, but once in a while we do. And we're standing there in the kitchen. And to the south of us is the garage that we had. And I went ahead and I'm not torn down, but the foundation left. An old garage out there in the back by the edge of the pasture area. And we were looking out toward there, and we stood there, and this is no kidding. Me and my wife stood there and looked at him, and he's standing there next to the corner of the garage. His head is above the bottom part of the garage itself. And we locked eyes, and I know he could see me, and I know he knew he could. I knew he's seen me, and I know what I saw, and my wife saw the same thing. And he was standing there and just standing and staring into the kitchen window. We stared at him for a good 15, 20 seconds. And out of nowhere, he took his right arm and laid over the top, like he said, waving goodbye. And bang, he was gone. I went outside, and I don't know where he went. I have no clue whatsoever. But I'm telling you, people, these things are real. How he got around with him, my guess is people's got pole lights around here. They're pretty stealthy, I guess they are. But why he was standing behind the garage, I don't have a clue on that. I was going to go squirrel hunting that morning in the timber in the direction he was headed, and I postponed that for a while. Anyway, that's what happened. But he was brown with kind of grayish patches on him. So I don't know if he was fairly old, or he was that's just his natural color or what. But he was there as real as I'm talking to you now. We locked eyeballs. And there was no more chickens left. And if he did, he ate every one of them, I'm guessing. I think that's what he did. He would come in from the timber, and he'd come in through here and grab supper and dart back out the back west behind the house. That was my indication. But no, and about a month or two before this all started, I got a fence out back, and it's a solid wooden fence that separates properties. the neighbor's property. And I'm outside. This is like 4:00 in the morning. And it was probably in the 20s then. I walked out that door, out the back door of the kitchen, and I'm out in the yard with the dog. And something rattled that whole fence, and I don't know what it was. I couldn't see what it was. I didn't pay attention. The dog, he just watched like he wasn't going to have any part of it. But I don't know if perhaps he was laying back there. I had no idea because it's pitch black behind there. There's nothing there. And I wonder if he was just chilling out back there at the time. But man, I haven't seen or heard anything of him since. But it was, I'll never forget it. That's about all I can really tell you. That fence is 10 foot tall, a solid wooden fence. And he shook whatever it was. I don't know and I can't say it was him, but I can't say it wasn't. But he shook the corner of that like it was nothing. And I think he was getting up or he was moving around. I don't know. I can't tell you. I didn't have the kahunas to walk around the backside of the fence to see what I was looking at. I wasn't about to take a chance. But yeah, he was. These things are real. I'm telling you, they're around here. They're in places that you normally wouldn't think of. They're out there. I don't care what people say. I know they're real. I've seen them for myself. The wife both seen them at the same time, and we looked at each other and go, "Did you see that? Did you just see that?" Yeah, that's a Sasquatch.
In the moment, that's what you guys said to each other. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, right there to say we both stared at each other in the face. Did you see what we saw? Yeah, honey. Yeah, I seen the same thing. I thought I was seeing things. No, And he waved. It's just like he had a sense of humor. He took his arm and just waved over the top of the garage, and he was gone. I went out there the next morning. And I thought for sure, as hard as the ground, I couldn't find anything. I wish there was snow on the ground. I would have had evidence, but there wasn't. It was in the 20s. I think maybe the ground was pretty cold for 4 or 5 days around that temperature, and ground was pretty sturdy and stiff anyway. But I went to look and clear back, and I couldn't find anything where he went, any evidence where he was even at, or even where he come in or he left. I couldn't find anything, and it's disappointing because I wanted pictures of it. I know what I saw. There's no doubt in my mind that's what it was. I'll argue with it. I'll argue with anybody until I'm blue in the face. I know what I saw, and it was interesting. It was interesting, but yet it was scary at the same time. Because you don't know what he would have done. He probably wasn't even interested in me. It's just he realized he seen movement probably in the kitchen itself when he was there, and he was just checking us out, determining what's going on here. What is this? That's all I can really tell you. I know they got intelligence. They have to have. I'm guessing they would. But no, I'd like to see him again. I would, but I haven't seen traces or heard of anything since then. This has been over a decade ago. So.
Okay. I was going to ask you, because we know it happened in November, but you're saying it was over a decade ago. Okay.
Yeah, it was over 10 years ago. Yeah, we haven't said anything to anybody about it because I don't think they would believe me anyway. But me and the wife know what we saw. There's no doubt. Oh,
yeah. It. Absolutely. And the thing is, we'll be really careful how we talk about, and you'll see why in a minute, but I don't know if you're a Bigfoot guy since then or if you got into the subject, but we do know you're from Central Illinois. And if you look into the subject and go to places like the BFRO or the Bigfoot Mapping Project, there's a ton of sightings that are happening in the Central Illinois area. And you've got that, I believe it's the Illinois River. There's a ton of sightings, and even recent ones too. And it's like people think, oh, yeah, Illinois, there's not stuff happening in a Midwestern state. But, guys, there's stuff happening in a Midwestern state. It's not even just Southern Illinois. It's central, too. Peoria area has a ton of stuff going on. Yeah, you had a thing on there about Peoria. That's what got me interested. That's why I emailed you. Okay.
Because I'm within 50 miles of Peoria, or 60 miles within Peoria. And I know good well If he's down here, I really don't know how far they travel, but they probably travel rivers just for simple fact of food and water source, I'm guessing. We watched the Bigfoot research there we use on Travel Channel.
Oh yeah, yep.
We watched that for a long time. Yeah, I had a real interest in it. Then when I finally got to see one for myself, yeah, okay, now I know what they're chasing. But they've been around for what, hundreds of years? There's been sightings from way back, right?
Oh yeah, there's documented sightings at least 1800s, and then you've got oral tradition from different Native American tribes, of course, that go way, way back. Yeah, the sky's the limit for stories about these creatures, or however you want to look at them. But let's talk a little bit about what you saw. So you were looking towards, you had a garage, because you had mentioned that there's a foundation out there, but then there's also a garage, right?
No, that's the foundation is what I got. I took the garage down.
Oh, okay.
We just got rid of it, and it's nothing but the foundation out there now.
Gotcha.
That's the same area. Yeah.
Got it. So it's standing next to the foundation.
Yeah. He was standing into the corner. He was standing in the corner of the garage itself, which we by the north corner of the garage itself, where you could see part of his leg and torso, but his head was above the bottom part of the roof itself. You could see just about half of his face. And that's when we both looked up, and he's staring right in the window of the kitchen.
Okay.
Now, the kitchen sits up high, so we were about eye level with him in a rough sense. The garage sits down the hill, you know what I mean, in the lower part of the property.
Oh,
and it's probably maybe 50 to 75 feet from the house. If even, that's how close he was.
Oh, wow.
To the house itself. Yeah. Walk out the back door, and you take about 30 steps, and you're on the foundation.
Got it. Now, you said, so I'm just trying to when I think of foundation, I think of a house foundation. How tall would you estimate that this creature was?
About 8-9 feet.
Okay.
Tall.
Gotcha. So,
because the bottom, because the garage is on a flat slab, and it's got a 4-inch rat wall. Okay, and then after that, it goes up 8 feet, and then the rafters are hooked onto it. So it was 8 feet 4 inches off of the slab, and you could see half of his face at the bottom of the roof line itself, at the very edge.
Okay.
Because that's where he was standing, on the edge by the garage, there behind the garage, on the edge of it, and you could see that much of his face looking over the top of it. So I'm guessing 8-9 feet.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It was brownish with a little bit of gray or silver, maybe. Okay. And he was look at his little silver in him.
He's coming from the neighbor's house.
Yeah, he was coming. He headed like him and walked over, and then he walked over there and stood by the garage. I think it's what he was. I don't know. He must have stopped when he realized he seen the movement in here. I don't know. For a quick second, yeah. When you look at something straight into the face, you know exactly what details there was.
Oh, there's no denying that for sure. Yeah. So you saw it was late at night. Now, did you have a light in the back, like a security light, or was there enough moon?
We got a yard light in the back. Pole's about 35, 40 feet just to the east of that.
Got it.
It lights up the whole backyard. So I don't know how everybody around here has pole lights, but there's also dark spots where you can maneuver through. And I think it's I don't know if he was just taking a chance of shooting across the road. I have no idea. I even went next door to even look in the yard and stuff, and then I come up empty-handed, and she was asking what I was looking for, and I said, "Oh, nothing." I'm not going to tell him anyway. He'd probably tell me I was nuts, but anyhow.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing with neighbors, because that could make things weird, but you could also, throw out the whole, "Hey, you seen anything weird around here?" And you never know. That can sometimes work, but it's all depending on, you're the one that knows how your relationship is and all that good stuff with the neighbors. Going back to what you'd seen there. You said it was brown with grayish patches. Now, did you get a look as to what the shape of the head was?
The shape of the head was more of a cross between a human and a gorilla, in my opinion. He didn't have he had the regular gorilla type nose and maybe portion of the mouth itself, but more other, it was just like it was like kind of a human type figure.
Okay.
He didn't look like a monkey. He looked like a cross between. It's really hard to explain, but it wasn't a full gorilla look. It was more. If I would have seen a side view, I could probably give you a better answer on that. But from what I could tell, and like I said, I only seen about half of his face anyway, and from what I can tell, it was more human-like.
How long would you estimate that you were able to look at? You mentioned that you were able to look in its eyes for a bit.
15 to 20 seconds. We had a stare off.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I won when he moved his hand up in the air and waved goodbye and he was gone.
Not many people can say they want to stare off with a Bigfoot. So congratulations.
I think I won the stare off, where he probably looked at me and said, "Oh, man, that ugly eye got nothing to do with you. I got to go." You know what I mean?
I'm out of here.
Everybody had something to do with it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, there you go. So
we both looked right at him, just as plain as I'm talking to you. There was 4 eyeballs staring at us and 2 staring back.
Yeah.
And
wow.
2 great big ones, 2 big eyeballs. So
for people that
it was interesting. It was interesting. Dude.
Absolutely.
It was.
For people that aren't familiar with the gorilla, can you describe? You'd mentioned the nose and mouth, and maybe could you describe a little bit there what you actually saw?
Yeah, the nose was it was more of a flat broad with large nostrils like a gorilla would have, and the mouth itself, I couldn't see much of it because that's about all I could see of the face itself. But his eyes were, they weren't like a gorilla's eyes. They were just more of a not a human eyes either. Just a big human eyeball. They were just a little different, a little bit bigger than what ours would be. I wish I could stare at him a little longer. I wish I took a picture. Doggone it, and I couldn't. There's no way in the world I could ever do that. But he wasn't there long enough. But it was, his face features simulated a gorilla, but he simulated a human also.
Okay.
He had human look to it and an animal look to him also, and a primate look to him also.
Wow. Did you notice a color to the eye at all?
No, they were just dark, maybe. There wasn't no glowing or no eye shine that I could see. No glowing or nothing over. They were just brown, maybe black. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. So something dark.
All I know is
okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I wish it was a little bit lighter out, but I think if it was a little bit lighter out, he wouldn't have been there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He was grocery shopping. That's what he was doing.
Right. Yeah, he was making the rounds.
He wanted chickens for supper.
The mouth, he was getting some chickens for sure. The mouth, it wasn't like you weren't able to see any teeth or anything like that, right?
No, no.
Okay.
I'm sorry to tell you, I couldn't see anything like that. His arms were long. They were huge. Because the thing is, he wasn't completely behind the garage. He was like on the edge of it. And you could see his arm and his torso down to his legs. I couldn't see his feet because he was standing on the ground, and I got there's a ramp that goes up to the garage itself that somebody poured years ago because the garage sits higher than the dirt and just make it easier for the car to be parked. And he was standing right there in that corner, but his arms were, they had to be 4 foot long, didn't they? Every bit that. They were long, and his hands were huge. His hands were huge because his hands was bigger than 2 of mine put together, and I don't have little hands. That you could see plain as day. And the bottom of his hands was a pinky or flesh pink color. Remember when you could see his hands plain as day? His whole hand, there wasn't any hair on them, on the bottoms. It's like a human hand, just a huge one, or a gorilla hand. Kind of the knuckles and things they simulated a primate hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had to first, locking with the eyes Did you get any emotion from either the face of the creature or when you locked eyes with it? Was there any emotion conveyed at all from it?
Emotion from me,
Uh,
or what he was conveying in the
from
emotion?
it, yeah.
It was probably more of a surprise look, a curiosity, because I probably stopped him in mid. He probably stopped because he seen movement in the house, so because maybe he froze and was curious to see what we were doing or what we are. Maybe he didn't know we were up, and he probably wasn't expecting anybody to be up. That's my opinion. But it was more of a stop. He just freeze, tried to blend in with the surroundings for a second, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
But it didn't take him long. He was gone. And
Eye contact.
yeah, it was 100% eye contact. Yep.
Could you see any muscles under the hair at all?
They're muscular. From the arm, from what I can tell with the arm on, let's see, it'd been on his left side. Yeah, his arms they're pretty beefy. They're not muscular as in lumpy. They were big as in big all the way to the elbow, and then pop-eyed, and then went to the hand. What I mean by pop-eyed is, you know how Popeye is with his forearms.
Oh yeah.
That's the way I would describe it. They could, yeah. If he ever got a hold of anything, he'd make short work of tearing you in half. No doubt in my mind. They're not anything to mess with, I would think. They're real.
Do you think that what you saw was male or female, or was it hard to tell?
It was hard to tell.
Okay.
Like I said, I could only see a part of his part of the arm and the leg and half of his head. But yeah.
It looked like a male to me.
Did it look like a male?
Yeah.
Too?
Yeah. From what I see, because I'm standing on this side, and you.
Oh, you could see. Okay. She said it looked like a male to her. Okay.
That's interesting.
That is
Different
interesting.
people are going to notice different things. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's true. And my wife is a stickler for detail. Believe me. She is.
I get you. That's good,
I got a
though.
lot of patience with that woman.
Hey, that's what we need. That's what we need, right?
Oh yeah, she looks things over like crazy before we even purchase them. If there's a scratch, it's game off.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and that's the way she is. She's always been that way. That's the characteristic I like about it. But anyway, looking at what you saw in your mind, the size of the head, did it remind you of the size of any object that you have in your house? oh yeah, probably. I'm guessing a close resemblance to the size of it would be probably our air fryer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's pretty good size. Ours is a round air fryer, so it's about maybe 14 inches tall, 12 inches wide type of thing. His head was proportional to his body. With that, I do know. It wasn't out of proportion of it being too small or too big. It was in proportion with his body. And I think with a head that the size of that air fryer stuff, with him being 9 foot tall, I think he's pretty well made just like he's supposed to be, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
I couldn't see any ears because his head was just plumb full of. He's old. He's just completely fur. All of it fur. Was no, except for the bottom of his hands. There was one, and the only reason why I knew that is when he moved his hand over, like saying "I'm out of here." That's where you could see the bottom of his hands.
Now,
so
that actually reminds me, because you had said that he waved. I kind of looked like it, and then he was gone. So
with that gesture, I'm out of here.
Right. Now, did he
So
actually
cool.
disappear, or did he just kind of move backwards into the dark?
No, he was gone. He was, as soon as he waved, I seen him take off just for a split second, and he was gone.
Okay.
He had a clear shot from that garage. There was no fence back there at that corner at that time, and he was gone.
So,
That's what I said. I went outside
yeah.
immediately after that with a flashlight. I wanted to catch a glimpse of him again, but no, I don't know where he went. And there was no noises or anything like that I could tell. because grain dryers were running in the back there. But no, he knew where he was going, and he was being quiet about it.
So you actually saw him move away.
Yeah, he was split. He was gone, instant. I don't know how fast. I don't have much of a stride they take, probably 10, 12-foot stride. I don't know. That'd be my guess with his size of his body. And from what I've seen on television, that's pretty normal for running. But no, he vanished. I don't know.
Wow.
Now whether he tucked in and went in between the other two houses behind me in the dark, I don't know. He could have done that. I have no clue, and went out the back the other way on the other side of the property. He could have done that too. But like I said, there's so many dark patches out here. You can go from lot to lot and never be seen, I would guess, because everybody's pole light's in a different area. You can always avoid the bright spots. He was whatever he was doing, he was being crafty at it, and he's making good. He's making what? No, he went far from the timber, because the timber was 1.5 miles behind the house.
Yeah.
But whatever he was doing what he needed to do, probably to eat. That's what I'm getting at. And now he found out the chickens were around here. I'll never know.
Oh, yeah. They find out for sure. After you had that sighting that night, did either of you experience anything out of the ordinary, any weird dreams or hearing anything weird or anything like that?
No, not that I can remember. If there was anything funny, and you'd know about it. But no, huh?
It was Jimmy wondering where his chicken.
Just Jim was wondering where his chickens were disappearing to, and I didn't have the heart to tell him.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Poor guy.
I wasn't going to start anything. If I said anything about that, he'd look at me like he'd put me in the nut house. Guarantee you that. Try to, at least. But Jimmy, he's a good guy. He's been around. We've been like next door to each other for 25 years.
Oh wow.
So we know each other pretty good. But yeah, like I said, the chickens slowly started to disappear. And he was thinking it was coyotes doing it. And we have coyotes around here. We can hear them barking like crazy. And there have been some come into this area, and I've seen them. You can hear them yapping no more than 15, 20 feet from my back door. So I know they're here. And that's what he was thinking. I don't think so. If it was, they contributed a little bit, but I think Big Boy, he was grocery shopping on a nightly basis. If he had anything in his other hand, because I couldn't see it, I could only see his torso, but I know he didn't have anything in the hand that he waved on, because there was nothing in it. Now, whether he went shopping and didn't come up empty-handed and he was heading back to where he needed to go, that I can't tell you. I don't know. But it was, yeah. We know what we saw, and these things are real. I don't care what anybody tells you. They're out there. They're real. And I'm here to tell you, I seen one. No doubt in my mind.
And the cool thing is both of you saw it at the same time.
Yep, at the same time.
Amazing.
Exactly. We both looked at each other. What did we see? Did you see that? That was Bigfoot. Yeah. I thought, wow, okay. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
You can cross that one off.
I just need to find one in the timber next. Natural environment. I didn't go squirrel hunting the next day neither. I had no. I smoked dynamite, but I wasn't going to go in there. Because the way he headed, he was heading the same direction. I'm guessing he was heading back to that direction. That's the area I hunt at the time. I wasn't about to go in there. No, I went hunting somewhere else. I got more than one place to hunt around here.
Have you ever gone back and hunted in that area?
Yes, I have. I have done it. About a year later, went back in, but I never. And when you see something like that, and you go back into the timber, and he headed this direction, you just have To me, it was kind of not being on edge, but just be a little more alert of your sounding and your surroundings, because you don't know. I mean, I know you're. I mean, I hunt with, I small game hunt. That's all I hunt with. I don't deer hunt or anything like that. And what I carry for firearms is really not much more than a 410 or a 22.
Sure.
And that's when you're just a little more, I think you're just a little more sensitive about your surroundings, because in the back of your mind, maybe he is here, maybe he's not, but you don't know that. And that's the way it was when I finally went back, and that was a year later. No, I never went hunting back there ever since that happened. Not till the following year it come back. Then squirrel season rolled back around. I never went back in that timber again till then.
Mm.
So it's just something to stick in the back of your mind. I don't really want to run across him. I don't know what would have happened. I have no idea. He'd probably just as scared of me as I am of him. But you don't know that. If anything ever happened, I can't say.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it sounds, as he said, he was just grocery shopping.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He was grocery shopping. Yeah, he wanted chicken for supper, and he was trying to get it, or he did have it, or something. But
there you go.
But I've never seen any feathers around here either. Nothing. So when he caught them, or if he was the one, he took them home with him. And not to me, you would have heard the chickens going crazy, but no, never did. Not around here.
Well, see, here's the thing, because I think, so this is just me personally, I think what might happen is they use something like infrasound to just paralyze them and then just pick them up.
Oh, well.
And then there they go. Because I took a report where it was an individual who saw one walk across, pick up a goose, and the goose was like, whatever about it. Didn't even move. Didn't even freak out.
Really?
They just walked off. Yeah. So I think there could be potentially some, they zap them with infrasound, and then that's why you didn't hear anything. But who knows?
Hey, anything's possible. And that would justify not hearing anything going on.
Right.
And that's what I said. He's stealthy. He knew what he was doing, and he was good at it. It's just his way of surviving, I'm guessing. But yeah, with that, he disabled the goose and picked him up, huh?
Exactly.
Wow, ain't that something? Yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible.
After you see something like that, anything is possible, right?
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, for both of you sharing what you experience. Most encounters that are shared are just one person seeing it. This is cool because it's the both of you. So appreciate you details about what you saw. And if anything else ever happens around your area, feel free to reach out.
You will be the first to know.
All
exactly.
Right. I appreciate that, guys.
And I hope I do. I hope I like to see another one again, because they're, like I said, they're their own breed, their own deal, and there's been tons of sightings, and you just got to respect the creature. That's all. I'm not out to trophy hunt him or nothing like that. He's doing his life, and I'm doing mine. It's just we met up one night at the garage.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I personally think I won the staring contest, but he's the one that blinked first, or said goodbye. But that's the way I feel about it. But anyway,
there you go.
It's a lifetime. It was a once in a lifetime thing. I'd like to see it again, but we'll see. Only time will tell.
That's right. And Butch, I hope that maybe you get that opportunity to see it again. Guys, thanks so much for coming on and chatting tonight.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Here at Bigfoot Society, our goal is to provide a platform for those that have encountered Bigfoot to share their encounter in a safe and respected environment. But we need to hear your story. If you've experienced something that you just can't explain, please send me an email at bigfootsociety@gmail.com. Then we can start the conversation. And I know a lot of you have not shared your encounter at all. It's been 20 years, and it's time that you get this off your chest, and then you can get some well-deserved rest, because I know you haven't been sleeping. I understand what you're going through, and I appreciate every one of you listening.
Bigfoot Society podcast, hosted by our captain, Jeremiah Byron, where it's all Bigfoot all the time. Have you ever had the urge to do more, to be more? Now you can by joining Bigfoot Society on the Patreon. Get ad-free episodes and even member-only episodes. Take part in movie night and even live video chats. Interact behind the scenes with Jeremiah and other Patreon members like me, Slaya. The powerful podcast goes on, and you may contribute a verse in our Patreon community. Carpe diem. Seize the day, Bigfooters, and make your lives extraordinary.
Please take a minute to help out the show by subscribing on YouTube, making sure you hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications, and share the episode on YouTube with a friend. Also, if you're listening to us on a podcast, thank you so much. Make sure that you're subscribed, share the show with a friend. Really, it's all about sharing the show wherever you can. If you've had a Bigfoot encounter related to the following or know someone who has, please reach out to me at bigfootsociety@gmail.com or pass on my email. Here's the list.
These are all in Oregon, by the way. Oak Ridge, Dexter, Fall Creek, Deschutes National Forest area, Cultus Lake, Spirit Lake, Subtle Lake, McKenzie River area, Sweet Home area, the area west of Crater Lake, east of 230 West Diamond Lake Highway, and north of 62 Crater Lake Highway.
You can use email bigfootsociety@gmail.com. A special thank you to all the Bigfoot Society Patreon and YouTube channel members. It's your support that helps keep the show going, and I extremely appreciate it. If you want to join in the fun, you can join over at patreon.com/the Bigfoot Society. I'll see you there. And again, thanks for listening.